Hello everybody, welcome to Creative Chess channel, and we start speaking about Sicilian defense and especially about sacrifices, typical sacrifices in Sicilian. Today we're going to speak about sacrifice on e6 square, and for that reason we're going to have a look at the game between Igor Zaitsev and Oleg Dementiev, played in 1970. So their game proceeded like this: e4, c5, d6. Here we play d4, of course, it's the main variation, and a6, it's neither. Here there are a lot of moves for whites, but one of the main moves here is bishop to c4, and it was played in the game. As you may understand, bishop is quite nice here because it's making some pressure on f7 squares, first of all. But as you may understand, black plays like this, and since then there are always possibilities of sacrificing on e6. Especially, for example, if the knight goes to d7, then there are some possibilities of sacrifices on this square. But even if black doesn't play like this, white anyway has some chances to sacrifice either knight or bishop on this e6 square. So the game proceeded bishop e3 and b5, bishop b3. Here you see black has an opportunity to win the pawn on e4. It's one of the variations. It's not very good, and we may have a look. So why? Okay, if to play b4, so white can retreat on a4, and okay, let's imagine that black takes. In this case, you'll be maybe surprised, but here already this sacrifice on e6 square is possible. So why is that? We can just take the pawn immediately, knight goes to e6. Seems that we are just giving a piece. Let's have a look. So black can capture either with the bishop or with the pawn, but definitely they need to capture the knight. First, let's imagine if we take with the bishop. In this case, white has a very nice move, the bishop to d5. You see now under attack two pieces, knight on e4 and rook on a8. So black is losing something here. Let's say they play knight to d7, and we need to make a choice whether to take the rook or the knight. It's quite an easy choice to make. Of course, we should take the knight. And so position will be something like that. It's white is better here because they have better pawn structure. You see these pawns, their pawns are very nice, and at the same time black pawn structure is very it's damaged a bit, especially this d6 square is weak, then these pawns are also shaky. And look at white's bishop, they are more dangerous than black's bishops. So yeah, it's one of the variations. Let's return again. If when knight takes on e6 we take with the pawn, in this case white has a nice move, knight to b6. We are taking the rook, we are taking the bishop. We have to retreat with the rook, by the way. If we go like this, white will just take and attack the rook. So it's just impossible. And if to play bishop to b7, for example, then we just take, and we can take on e6. Here again, white's position is better. We don't give black the chance to castle. That's why the king will be in the center for some time, and white can start attacking them. So if we speak about an opening, that's why here there are some people who played before, but it's not good to win this pawn actually because of this sacrifice on e6. So in the game after bishop b3, so black decided not to play b4 and played quite a rare move, queen to c7. It's better. It was better to play either bishop to b7 or bishop to e7. Yeah, but okay, so they played queen c7. White played f4, b4, knight a4, and knight bd7. Again, you see the pawn is hanging, and again it can't be taken. So here it's even worse to take the pawn, because if we take here, we have a very nice move f5. So we already are damaging black structure and try to get to their king. For example, if they play e5, guys, as our topic today is knight e6, you may guess that knight e6 is the best idea here. It seems that white is given the knight, but in this case, for example, now it's black to move, and if they play something like knight to c6, we can play knight b6, attacking the rook. Knight goes to d5. You see all white pieces are very active. Actually, they're winning here. Queen goes into the game, and after queen e3, you see we're already attacking the guy, so the knight, and if the knight retreats, because if not to retreat, then we'll just take it, and if just retreat, there'll be checkmate in 4. Check, takes, and checkmate. Okay, let's return to the game. So we played before knight a4, and black, instead of taking the pawn, played knight to d7, f5. You see, white is trying to open this diagonal, maybe again to jump on e6. e5 was played in the game, and knight e6. You see, already for the third or for the fourth time, we see that knight goes to e6 and creates some very dangerous threats for the black king. So the queen is under attack. Black took. So we are taking the knight, and where to retreat. So the only good move is knight to c5, and it was played in the game. White took the knight. And white is not in a hurry, they just castled. Now white wants to have this sacrifice, then to bring the queen into the game and checkmate black king. So that's the idea. Black played c4, they try to get this pawn sooner than possible, but anyway, rook f6 was played in the game, and here white is already winning. So what is the idea? So cb was played in the game, queen h5, g6, rook goes to g6, hg, check, and you see here variation is almost forced. White is just winning here. Rook d1. You see white wants to play rook to d8 and then just checkmate into is coming. That's why rook goes to h7. And you see here, white is much better. Actually, they're checkmating. Computer shows checkmate in 11 moves, and white is definitely better. If, for example, black takes the pawn, then we can just checkmate them without any problems, just in 2 moves. Yeah, guys, let's have a look again at this position. So just be aware that in Sicilian defense, this knight e6 moves, they can be very, very tricky. So let's return. Even here, it seems that black might win the pawn, but if they do this like I showed you, so like before, knight a4, knight e4, so some moves like knight e6 are possible. See this diagonal, so both pieces are standing on the same diagonal. That's why you can either play bishop d5 and then to attack both, or if they take with the pawn, you just need to remember that knight jumps to b6 and the rook doesn't have any good squares, and white is better here. In some cases, queen h5 is possible to bring the queen into the game. So anyway, these ideas with knight e6 can be really tricky. And first, the idea also, which is possible, f4, f5. So you try to undermine this structure, and when the black has to play e5, you can jump on e6 and create a lot of threats for your opponent's king. But don't be in a hurry. Don't think that here you should win right on the spot. You see, it was played very calm move, and after this move, rook f6 is a threat. And yeah, it's good to say that, for example, if they played bishop e7, probably it was better. Then we just needed to play check, king f8, and rook f6 was also playable here. The problem is that if they take with the bishop, we can just play queen d5. Yeah, see guys, it's not that easy. We are taking the rook, we are taking the pawn, so, and black should be very careful here not to lose on the spot. Yeah guys, I hope you understood the idea with knight e6. I'll go on with my sacrifices in Sicilian, so please subscribe to my YouTube chess channel. See you in my next videos, and bye bye.